Okay, so in this unit, we're going to talk about the process of globalization, who is facing a new environment. Why globalization? Is the integration of the economy, political and cultural system across the globe? Is just an Americanization style of the world culture? What exactly is globalization? Is globalization a force toward economic growth, prosperity, and democracy? Is globalization good or bad? All these questions would receive very different answers all over the world. And we're going to find something different, and we're going to discuss it during this unit around this concept. In fact, each of those places in the world receive a different answer from different people, from business leaders, from government officials, from laborers, from unemployed, an individual like you and me. We all of that catalogate globalization in a different scale and aspect. But most important to those answers and questions is to understand in our mind the really impact of globalization, not only in the business marketplace, but also in the culture and the society and the political event. So globalization is the acceleration, intensification of integration among people, companies, government, and the different nations. With that in mind, globalization will be a very interesting topic for this class. There are different tendencies of globalization. There are different ways to understand globalization. One is the technology advance create a very strong impact in globalization. The government and political things, the markets and customer, and of course the environment that we are. All of this together create a different dimension, a dynamic dimension, who involve society, culture, trade and commerce, and of course, competition. There are several ways how we can define globalization. Famous author define, and very important people, business people, define globalization in different aspects. As I mentioned before, the most important is how we can shape globalization into our concept and into our business relationship. Globalization is related with business competitiveness, who involve not only a very sophisticated level of interdependence, but also interdevelopment. Globalization is an invisible hand to put the phenomena of countries without borders and involve technological advances in order to raise new economies like China, India, Taiwan, Latin America, etc. So, global competence, it is important in globalization. What to do, where we are, that is the question that we're going to answer toward this learning unit. Understanding the international business in a global environment is very important. Our world is undergoing profound changes. We live in a very exciting and changing territory, and no aspect of our society will remain unaffected by the process of globalization. Society in general have acquired new way to communicate, a new form to understand cultures. Our economy, our standards of living are being affected. There are new markets, new alliances, new way to do business. Globalization is not new. Globalization comes from several years ago. There are some register that and important information that globalization comes from 1400, the year 1400, and moved through the years of today. All this time, globalization plays a very important tool into the process of society development, but also cultural and business development. One of the characteristics of the new business environment is what happened before and what is now. Times ago, all the business perspective are moving or are structured toward continuity, adjustment, just management is doing by individual and into the national boundaries. Today, with globalization, we are in front of changes, continuous transformation, facilitation of the process, project group, competence, and freedom of movement toward the entire world. So globalization is here, and globalization stayed with us. We need to face that dynamic process. There are no doubt that we are in the era of global business and cultural transformation. My question to you, are you prepared for that? So let's go to study globalization toward this unit. And at the end, we're going to finish in a very interesting discussion. Thank you.